Hello guys, welcome back to Dark Messenger channel for Final Fantasy Brave Exvius video. And this video is for series boss battle. We fight Chaotic of Darkness from FFBE, and I pick Xeno of the Beta Star as the damage dealer, and this is the very strong Xeno equipping to Searing Ember. So the Searing Ember is Xeno STMR has passive 75% human killer, and then don't forget to equip the stats element resistance, and this Xeno has this Raymond. Okay, this is from my companion. Just take quick look for my unit equipment. First, I'm using Awaken Rain. If we must buff water and darkness is over 175%, and this is my Sargabat as main buffer by using the Holy Elemental weapon. This will help our battle for dealing holy damage, and also Prompto as breaker, 65% attack and magic break, and equipping the holy elemental weapon by using staff because I need it if incoming attack comes to Prompto, and that's my STMR Prompto Executioner, and this staff has a holy elemental weapon. Don't forget to equipping elevated message light for sealing incoming Graviga attack from Chaotic Darkness, and this is my Xeno using Muramasa from Scorn of Gilgamesh, and has killer, passive killer, and also Ultima weapon from pure STMR, and I'm equipping Man Eater Plus for passive killer, and then last one is my Lotus Machina, and also equipping with Holy Elemental weapon, and also Tinkerer Bow and some of Elemental resist. And don't forget to have some resist on Dark Elemental because the enemy can deal AoE dark physical attack that ignores your provoke or physical AoE cover. And this is all my party stats, and let's go to the battle. Alright guys, this is the first turn. As usual, if we fight the enemy, let's try to break attack and magic first from Prompto, Star Shell, and Circular Soul. This will break attack and magic 65%, and we already deal the holy damage using Prompto, Circular Soul. And from Awaken Rain, I'm start to provoke using Stand Out. This is 3 turn provoke, but there is some attack that ignores provoke from Chaotic Darkness, but it's okay. And next, we start with buffing our party using Lotus Machina, double Lotus Magic, Divine Feel, and also Shining Cheer to have our party HP regeneration, and some of elemental buff from Divine Feel. And from Sargabat, I'll start using Arcadian Light to prevent stats element. And from Xeno, I'm start to use dual black arts, perfect void, and let's debuff the fire elemental using scorch, and the other one is perfect void, and then perfect void, and using Viraga Slash. Viraga Slash, this will imbue this Xeno with fire elemental. Alright, we deal on the first turn, and let's see. On the second turn, let's try to use just Viraga Slash. Viraga Slash on both Xeno. This means our Xenos, two Xenos, has imbue with fire elemental, and we can deal a huge damage to chaotic darkness because he has been I manual press. Let's consider the Viraga Slash, and we have already debuffed 100% of his fire resistance. And from Awakened Rain out using Energy Wall for AoE magic cover, and then from Sargabat, let's use Ward of Law. This deal the holy magic damage and also mitigate 30% of our damage. And from Lotus Mage Vina, let's use Matotopia and Shining Cheer. From Prompto, don't forget to use Manifested Netesite to seal the incoming enemy's magic. Let's see. On the third turn, let's try to strike using Obliterating Mirror of Equity Roar, and let's chain it. Let's see how much damage. And okay, we get 86%. This means in the next turn we can pass the threshold. The threshold is on 80%, so I must cast this Star Shell and Zero Color Soul again, and also dealing the holy damage there. And from Awakened Rain using Complete Awakening, this will buff 200% of all his stats. And from Sargabat, I'm start to using Prismatic Barrier. The Lotus Mage Vina, let's try to use AoE Re-Rise from using her LB. Let's cast this Prismatic Barrier. This will buff 60% of all our elemental buff and also all stats break immunity. On fourth turn, I think I can bypass the threshold here, and from Awakened Rain, let's reset the same thing as the third one using Stand Out to provoke. And let's see the stats element here. As you can see, all my party has been debuffed the element resistance. So in this turn, I'm going to use True Mirror of Equity. This will deal a huge damage and unlock Xeno triple cast. Let's see how much damage there. Good, 67%. And from Sargabat, I'm going to heal Prompto using Rejuvenate, and the other one maybe my Xeno as a backup healer. because Prompto must use manufactured negasite. So Lotus Mage Fina will deal holy damage there, but let's buff our party first using Divine Field, and let's cast Second Burst. Okay, nice. Let's use the manufactured negasite to seal the incoming Graviga attack. As you can see, there is an incoming attack that cannot be provoked by Awaken Rain. So my Xeno die, and let's cast Energy Wall from Awaken Rain. And since my Xeno die, so this Xeno cannot do the triple cast, but it's okay. Let's see another way. Let's start using Lotus Mage Fina using Divine Field to buff stats 120% all stats buff, and also 50% of all elemental buff. So in this turn, I think I must deal the holy damage and then deal I must cast Firaga Slash, and okay, is the deal. Let's see the enemy. We have still one more turn. Use double blade art, and then let's strike using Firaga Slash and obliterating Mirror of Equity's Roar. It's the same deal, but I'm using only this one on obliterating Mirror of Equity Roar. No. We will do the same. Firaga Slash, obliterating Mirror of Equity Roar, and let's debuff Fire Elemental resistance on Chaotic Darkness. And from Lotus Mage Fina, maybe I'm going to use Shining Cheer. Let's okay, still attack and magic still break. Let's see how much damage. Oh, not the perfect chain, 63%. Okay, alright, this I'm going to use manufactured negasite again from Sargabat. Let's recast the re-rise on my Xeno and also Sargabat himself. Okay, this turn we survive because the incoming holy attack. This will stun the Chaotic Darkness for one turn. This means in this turn, let's break again using Star Shell from Prompto, and holy damage using Circular Sword. So in this turn, let's use LB, Xeno LB. Okay, nice. Let's use from 63 down to 51%. This means still not passing the threshold. So let's cast the complete awakening from Awakened Rain, and then Sargabat must cast. Okay, the prismatic barrier still cooldown. Okay, let's use LB. Some of damage mitigation and also all stats buff around 150%. And then from Lotus Mage Fina, I'm going to use, okay, let's see the re-raise here. The re-raise still on. There is one more turn, so let's cast Shining Tear and Divine Feel. As you can see, in this turn, Chaotic Darkness is remove our stats element resistance. So let's use Prime Heal to cure Blind and also Poison, and deal the holy damage from Fina by using Sacred Burst. But in this turn, let's try to strike using Sinnoh. This means has full power of ability of Mirror of Equity. Let's see how much damage. Okay, down to 33%. This means our attack is 70%. So after passing the threshold, we must cast. Don't forget to cast Manifested Netherite, and this is the most important thing, because if you don't use the Searing Magic ability, this will come the incoming Real Figure attack. From Awakened Rain, let's start same as turn 1 using Provoke Standout ability, and from Sargabat, don't forget to cast the Prismatic Barrier to prevent the incoming attack and magic break. As you can see, we survived from the threshold attack, and my Sinnoh is still okay. So let's check the stats. Now the True Mirror of Equity is already set, already cooled down. Let's use it down to 20%. This means there's an incoming threshold attack again, so we must cast another Manifested Netherite from Prompto and Awakened Rain on turn 8. This means the same on turn 2. Let's recast the Energy Wall. The rotation on every 3 turn on Awakened Rain. Don't forget it. And from Sargabat, I think I must use Arcadian Might to prevent, not prevent, but to mitigate incoming damage and also buff our stats, all of our stats 130%. From Lotus Mage Fina, I think what must I do? Let's see the re-raise. Is the re-raise still on? Alright, I must use what? Hold the attack. Okay, this means I'm not going to use an ability. Maybe to cast Juraja and then Holy. Okay, and from Prompto, use the Manifested Netherite. Alright, so in this turn we can use triple blade art from both of our Xeno. So let's triple cast the obliterating mirror of equity's roar, and let's try to use Lotus Mage Vina LB, because the mission is to kill this chaotic darkness by using LB. And let's see the mission here. Okay, we already deal lots of holy damage there. Let's catch obliterating mirror of equity, and okay, I can heal. Just press it. Boom. Okay, and we kill chaotic darkness with limit burst. So in this battle, I think there's a luck, because the chaotic darkness attack, some of his attack cannot be provoked or covered. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys on the next video. Bye bye.